Welcome to Upgrade. I'm your host, Frank the Tank, and today we're going to bring something to take out some screws. So, say you ran a couple of screws and you cannot remove them. Well, especially now where laptops are coming with little tiny screws. And when I mean tiny screws, they're really tiny. Like we're talking about microscopic screws. And they use stars most of the times when these are set up, and when you run them, it's impossible to remove them. That's why you got to use some special tools sometimes, and you can't just use any ordinary removal of these kind of screws. But there's a solution for them, and I'm going to show you guys how to do it. First of all, you do have to. We're going to show you guys a little demo, how I remove one screw. And it was a tiny little screw, but these are my essential tools I use. And it doesn't have to be Black & Decker. They sell multiple different brands, but they all look the same pretty much, right? And they work the same way. If you guys can see, it says screw extractor, and that's exactly what it is, all right? So there's a couple of ways you can do this, right? If you have a drill, you could tie this up on a drill. So today we're going to use the smallest one, just to remove this one tiny little screw that I have in there. But like I said, they have multiple ones, and these have multiple rivets in here, like curves, and they're made for extracting these kind of screws. So but most of the times, in order to make these work, you got to drill a little larger hole just to fit in the first bit. And of course, we're never going to get to this one, but we're going to use this one. I use this so many times in my projects, and to remove a couple of screws that were impossible to remove. It has time and time again. This is actually my third set of these that I have purchased. Because they're essential to my job, especially if you're gonna remove some screws out of a laptop. This bit number one has been a lifesaver, to be honest with you. Unfortunately, a lot of these screws that are coming really tiny, people don't have the right tools. A lot of people are using rubber bands. They put in the rubber band, they screw in the screw drive, and it just removes it. But that's a 50-50. And if you can't get that, and if you have your hands on some of these things, maybe it's time to use them. So I'm gonna put it to use today. We're gonna do a little demo on one of the laptops I have and see how I did it. So stick around. Make sure you clean it up as much as you can. All right, we're gonna zoom in some more. Oh, that's the best we can do. We'll try to see if we can go some more. Really slow and gentle, right, guys? Because make sure you clean the tip too. Some more. So you tried everything to remove a little tiny little bit screw. I recommend you one of these Black & Decker's screw extractor. So let's go ahead and test it out. See how well it works. They give you they give you 5 in one package. Really good. Large ones, super large. They have 1 through 5. We're just gonna see if we can run it through a screwdriver. So let's go ahead and take the smallest one we can find here. And we're gonna run it here. See if we can spin it here. Yeah. See if we could get that going. Make sure you're screwing the right way. So we're gonna try to see if we could do it. If you can see the tip going in there. There it goes. Simple as that to remove a screw. All right. It took me a while, but I had to actually do a hole first, a little deeper hole, because this thing wasn't going into it, as you can see it. But now, very simple. If this works on any screw to extract it. Now, taking it off, you got to be careful. Use some pliers to screw it out, because you don't want to damage the tip on this one. So recommend you one of these screw extractors. They come in a set of 5s. All right. It could be they have different brands. It doesn't have to be this brand in particular, but there's multiple brands. And of course, you just got to make sure you have enough space. So I had to drill a little bit, take off some of the metal off, just to make sure that this bit's gonna fit in there. But overall, you saw how simple it is. If you have any questions or any comments, let me know. Like I said, to remove the screw from the actual screw extractor, you got to make sure you do it carefully, right? Because you don't want to damage it. You want to use it for the next one. Use needles, pliers. Don't go up and down. Just twist it, right? And it'll come off. Twist and pull. Twist it and pull. And in fact, in this case, I'm going to put reverse. I'm going to hold it and just hold the button down. and it comes out like that. Simple as that, right? So like I said, let me zoom in some more so you can see. The screw's a really tiny screw, if you can see that. It's really to make that little hole. I had a drill just with a bit, if you guys saw that, just a little bit to make the hole a little wider, right? I didn't try to go all the way through. I just want to make sure it grabs enough because it wasn't grabbing the tip. So you just got to make sure that it's embedded in there, and then you can use the screw extractors. Now, there's other options you could use. You could use a rubber band to begin with, see if that works. But most of the times, you know, 50% it might not work. And this one was a little larger, embedded in there. You can see the screw is embedded in there. Only some part of the screw is an actual screw. The rest of it wasn't a screw.